So recent news came up with LocalBitcoins, and they basically announced that they're going to discontinue their service. And this is the message they have on their website. It's under service closure. They basically telling everyone that they already suspended new signups, so you cannot sign up to the site. And just 4 days from now, from the time of the video, the 16th of February, nobody would be able to trade on LocalBitcoins. And they also going to suspend the use of their wallets. So you can only use your own funds in the site. And afterwards, from the 17th of February, customers would only be able to withdraw their Bitcoins. That's the message. Now, if you guys don't know what local Bitcoins is, so welcome aboard. Local Bitcoins created about over 10 years ago. So we're talking about 2012-13. And they citing very cold crypto winter that basically calls them concluding that they can no longer provide Bitcoin trading service. Users basically were using the site to trade Bitcoin. They can sell or buy Bitcoin using local bank transfers, wire transfers, MoneyGram, Western Union, you name it, PayPal, whatever that is. I mean, any type of way of transferring funds. That's basically was the way to buy Bitcoins. Now, they were called local Bitcoins because they only supported the purchase or selling of Bitcoin. So they were not allowing you to use any other cryptocurrencies. But let's just dive in why they had to close their operations, their website. So this is an opinion from CoinDesk, and they're talking about the closure of local Bitcoins here. And this article by Daniel Kuhn is actually providing pretty much good information about the closure. So the news is a loss for the industry. Um, the Finland-based company was founded by Jeremiah Skangas in 2012 and became a critical, if increasingly in use, part of the Bitcoin circular economy. And it's possibly a wake-up call for all the other Bitcoin scenes, like everybody that's using on-chain payments and conserving on building foundational infrastructure needed for Bitcoin adoption. So local Bitcoins was one of the few pioneers that when, talking about 10 years ago, they facilitated transactions by holding coins in escrow. So they were holding the coins in an escrow, then the buyer and the seller would have to make sure that they both receive the payments, everything is confirmed, and then the escrow can be released. So why did they have to close? Let's just skip on it. So basically, according to the company's data, they had customers from Russia, Venezuela, Colombia. They accounted for 41% of the local Bitcoin trade, in 2020. And there were a lot of trades. I mean, if we're talking about 2018, there were about 2,400 Bitcoin traded hands weekly. 2021, we're talking about 1,000 Bitcoin weekly. And last week, only 283 Bitcoin were traded. And the reason that is because they had several issues with regulation. So for several years, they faced political pressure due to its lax identification procedures. In 2015, that's actually the year where Paxful started. So in 2015, they pulled out of New York after failing to obtain a BIT license from the state. 2016, two people were charged with violating anti-money laundering while using the exchange. Although, funnily enough, before pleading guilty, they looked to dismiss the charges because Bitcoin is not money. Whatever. Similar cases followed in 2019 following another report that called local Bitcoins a go-to destination for illicit coins, and the introduction of new regulations in Finland. The company basically had to ban cash as well as ensure they have KYC procedures in compliance with the regulations in Finland. So all in all, these are the reasons why they had to close down. There are likely several causes for what happened, what we mentioned, but for years it remained Bitcoin only, so it limited potential use for other crypto holders. And then alienating self-identified Bitcoiners when it integrated Dogecoin and Cardano, and surely the bear market, what we experienced in the past few months. But Daniel said a wager, even if LocalBitcoins leadership disagrees, the company fails simply because it was a company. By subjecting itself to the law of the land, they basically transformed themselves into transmitting business that if Daniel, the other, is finding hard to believe that no one is to blame for the process. Basically, there's a lot of regulation and a lot of things that a lot of competitions they had to deal with. It's worth noting that here in Venezuela, where he's writing the article, they had serious competition from P2P platforms such as KYC-less ODL and non-custodial BISQ. So there are many other competitors and options to do that. And basically what he's trying to say, Daniel, is that LocalBitcoins, because they started so early, and that's exactly the same issues that Binance is facing, but Binance has the resources to deal with those issues, with this pressure, because they basically hiring a lot of lawyers, solicitors, and people that dealing with the business in order to ensure they are in compliance with as many governments as possible. But LocalBitcoins was much smaller, and it was a good operation. It was something that some users are very sad to see. But yes, that's part of the business. As far as we know, they did not have any local or crypto coin that's related to their service. One more thing that is mentioned in blockworks.co is starting next week, customers will only be able to withdraw. We already mentioned that. They mentioning that the announcement comes after years of regulatory challenges for the company. Especially between 2014 and 2016, there were several allegations of local Bitcoin users violating anti-money laundering laws, with 2 people pleading guilty. That's what we mentioned. But this is being mentioned again. Um, they also did not provide an update about the Bitcoin ATM business, which started in April 2014. And all in all, this is what happened. Some users are moving to KYC-less platforms. Some don't care. Some, for instance, using Paxful, which is KYC, but it started in 2015, and the volume in Paxful is much lower, so it doesn't at the moment, at least of now, it's not like a website that attracts too much attention from regulators. LocalBitcoins attracted too much attention from regulators, and that's why he had to shut down. It's a combination of dealing with a lot of regulatory issues as well as trying to be friendly towards the users. It's not going to work because that's the crypto winter that many people mentioned that that's why Bitcoin is falling down in price, is that you're trying to create a situation where people are happy about trading, but at the same time, they're not happy about going through so many KYC questions and things like that. And you have to make it as friendly as possible. It's also well noted if you check Bitcoin Talk and the forums that it took LocalBitcoins a very long time to assist users with issues. So if you raise a ticket, if you had a trade that didn't go as planned, it would take them a very long time to intervene. So all in all, it was a failing business, unfortunately. One thing that we mentioned about Paxful. So Paxful CEO and co-founder Ray Youssef is here. He talks against crypto exchanges, and just 2 months ago, it's a 2-minute read, so we're just going to go through it quickly. He advised users to move Bitcoin to self-custody wallets. What does he mean here? What he's trying to say? So the fallout of crypto exchanges FTX has eroded the users' trust in centralized networks, and exchanges mismanage the users' funds, just like what we've seen with FTX, and that's prompted users to opt for basically to use custodial wallets to store their holdings. So in line with this, the P2P Bitcoin trading platform Paxful, he's the CEO. He's telling users by all means, please self-regulate your holdings. What he's saying basically, do not deposit crypto assets into my platform. He says if you're using Paxful, don't use it for storing your Bitcoin, your crypto, whatever that is. Use it for trading, that's fine. But he said, I suggest you don't keep your balance in the platform. Paxful has 6 million user base. It's a popular peer-to-peer marketplace for buying and selling Bitcoin, just like LocalBitcoins. The platform was founded in 2015 and its headquarters are based in New York, by the way. In December 11 tweet, he noted he will be sending an email every week strongly advising its followers to never store funds in any exchange, including Paxful. This is the way to go, he said. Always hold your savings in your own hands. Why? Because he said like what happened to FTX could repeat itself, and that's why he's going against it. He said primary reason for this is FTX because they used user funds for their own benefit. He also pointed out that they never utilize user funds for personal purposes, so impactful it never happened. But the second reason behind this advice, he says, there is still no crypto regulation in place to regulate crypto exchanges and oversee user funds. Since trust in centralization has been lost after the FTX meltdown, users are turning to decentralized exchanges like Paxful and non-custodial wallets to trade and store cryptocurrencies. He says users are storing cryptocurrencies in their platform. He's praising Bitcoin because it's being decentralized, but he said, please don't hold it in the platform. In the past few weeks, several crypto experts advised crypto investors to transfer their crypto holdings to decentralized platforms or non-custodial wallets, which offer users complete control over their assets. By the way, if you go to Free Bitcoin and you type the code LocalBitcoins, you're going to get several roles, just for your information. Meanwhile, the broader crypto market is currently looking for strict crypto regulations which will regulate the operations of crypto exchanges and safeguard user funds. That's what you should expect. It's probably going to start from United States because FTX is related to it. We saw a lot of celebrities like Stephen Curry from the NBA and Tom Brady, who already resigned. Um, Basically, he left the NFL, which, by the way, the Super Bowl is tonight, but just mentioning it. And but yes, I mean, we already know what happened to FTX. What are your thoughts about what he says? He says, share your views in the comments section below. I'm looking for comments. I don't see any comments here, but there's some other headlines here. Binance now more likely to face sanctions charges in United States investigation. And that was 2 months ago. Binance is what we mentioned. They have a lot of issues because what happened to LocalBitcoins. So it could be that the Binance coin could lose some value if that's going to intensify and manifest itself in a way that investors not expecting right now. Atomic Wallet has added Toncoin support. Atomic Wallet is very good for NEM, by the way. If you guys using NEM, don't forget that you can uh, grab it from freenem.com. That's one of the lowest thresholds, by the way. So that's something for you to consider. And this is all in all for now. What we wanted to talk about is the we could say the collapse of LocalBitcoins. And this content is provided by the community. Well, it's we take this advice very seriously. This guy is managing a very big exchange, so to speak, but always do your own research. So if you believe that you can store crypto in Paxful and you think that the CEO, what he's telling you, his advice is not the best advice there, by all means, feel free to store your crypto in Paxful, but don't complain later if something happens. So this is one of the most important advice that you can take from here. By the way, LocalBitcoins is not uh, living its users like it's not telling them, okay, we're shutting down, you cannot withdraw. They're giving users a very long time, 12 months, basically 1 year, to withdraw their holdings. Well, they encourage you to proceed doing it fast sooner rather than later. And we don't know why, but always take this advice. As mentioned again, do your own research, but it sounds like a good advice, so follow this one. All right, thanks for watching and see you on the next one. Have a good one. And don't forget to watch the Super Bowl tonight. Enjoy it. And you can also bet on it with BC Game if you wish. It's mentioned here. You can see banners of BC Game all across our sites. So enjoy betting or just watching the Super Bowl. It's going to be probably a very interesting game between the Eagles and the Chiefs. Okay, that's all for now. Thanks for watching.